rugged, off-road capable, super cool looking, and much more. You are watching Side Roads. I'm Carlos, and this is a 2025 Ford Bronco Sport. The Ford Bronco Sport that we are driving today has one of the optional engines for the Bronco Sport, which is a 1.5-liter three-cylinder EcoBoost engine that produces 190 horsepower and 200 pound-feet of torque. It is paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission, and all Bronco Sports come standard with all-wheel drive, of course, because it's a 4x4 adventure-oriented little vehicle. We also have in this Bronco Sport Outer Banks the Sasquatch package, which include piston rear shocks, locking rear differential, and a super rugged twin clutch unit that allows the power to be sent to only one of the rear wheels when any of the other three are out of touch with the ground, which of course increases significantly the 4x4 or off-road capability of this Bronco Sport. The Ford Bronco Sport competes in the mid-size SUV segment, but with these special edition or unique edition models that are more off-road 4x4 adventure oriented against vehicles like the Jeep Compass Trailhawk, the Subaru Forester Wilderness, the Mazda CX-50 Meridian, and the Nissan Rogue in the Rock Creek version. To be honest, I think it competes really directly with the Jeep Compass Trailhawk because it has true mechanical improvements to make it 4x4 ready. The rest are cool. There are mostly cosmetic changes to make it look more rugged, but in general terms, they are all options for you to choose from.
Safety features for the 2025 Ford Bronco Sport are things like pre-collision assist with automatic emergency braking with pedestrian detection, forward collision warning, dynamic brake support, lane keeping alert, lane keeping assist with road age detection, blind spot information system with cross-traffic alert, and rear cross-traffic braking. That's not too bad for the Bronco Sport.
Fuel efficiency for the Bronco Sport is a 9.3 liters per 100 kilometers city, 7.9 liters per 100 kilometers highway, or 25 mpg city, 30 mpg highway. Price for the 2025 Ford Bronco Sport starts in Canada around 37,000 Canadian dollars, and the top trim goes to around 47,000 Canadian dollars. That's without packages. This vehicle, as tested, is around 52,000 Canadian dollars. In the US, the price goes from 30,000 US dollars, and the top trim goes to around 40,000 US dollars, also without packages. And the Ford Bronco Sport can give you those packages to make it more 4x4 ready or just a cool urban looking SUV. The interior on the 2025 Ford Bronco Sport is good. Is cool. I think that's the word of the day for the video, by the way. So we have a heated steering wheel, which is also wrapped in leather. We have 4 power windows, which are one touch up and down for the 4, and 3 memory seats, which is better than 2 for sure. The seats are comfortable. They are on the firm side, but I find them comfortable for my body, and they are wrapped in this fake leather, I would say, but I love the color and the contrast stitching and the different textures and colors on the seat. The design of the seat is really cool too. We have a 12.3 inches digital gauge cluster, and I said this before in my Ford Explorer video. It is really clear and the graphics are next level. You'll see it in the video. Really cool. You can configure what you see in the center pretty much, and all the information and the messages from the car come there. Really clear, really nicely in the graphic design department. And then we have a 13.2 inches infotainment screen, which is very big but nicely integrated in the dashboard here. I like this, and it's easy to use, it's responsive, and you can have your vehicle settings here, and the icons are big and easy to read, and you have also the car features and the car apps. So that is pretty cool there. The air conditioning controls are integrated on the screen. They are always visible, so you don't have to go through menu. When you use the controls, it takes a little bit of space from the screen and time on the screen, but I think you can get used to that. The heated steering wheel and the heated seats, which are available, by the way, here for the front passengers, are controlled through this as well. One thing about this, not for the Bronco Sport, but for many screens that have now the air conditioning control integrated, we are in the middle of the summer in Canada, it is hot, you get in the car and you want the air conditioning right away, you have to wait until the screen is available for you. So that's a thing to keep in mind there. The materials on the dashboard, this is soft and have this texture, and it looks and it feels utilitarian and rugged, and it will last. So this is really cool, and they have this extra color here in the doors and in the dashboard, adds dimension and some visual interest in here. I like this. There are hard plastics here. Some of them have a different grain or something, and they are gray and not black, so it makes it cool. I think the car was designed for being utilitarian, so you can have water or go off-roading and not worry too much, and I appreciate that. But there are some portions where the plastics are really hard plastic, borderline cheap, and I don't love that, because with time this can be a problem with rattles or breaking or something like that. But again, I hear and I understand what the theme here and the objective was, which is being utilitarian. I love the air conditioning controls and the designs of the vents too. We have these aux options here, so you can add your own accessories. That is pretty cool. And we have a sunroof, which is bigger than the average one. It's not full size, but I think this is cool, and it still helps to bring some light to the rear passenger. So I like this. We have start-stop engine button here, some direct buttons like for your camera, which is really handy, and a volume knob, which is also really cool to have. We have a wireless charging and an extra cubby here, two cup holders, your rotary shifter here, and your control for the terrain management system, which is Ford calls it GOAT mode, goes over any terrain. And we have here normal and slippery, eco, sport, and off-road. And the graphics here, I'll put it for you on the screen, are really cool. When you go on the off-road mode too, the camera, the front camera comes on and have marks for tires, so you know where your tires will go when off-roading. That is also a super cool feature, especially in this package on the Bronco Sport. I'm loving it. I think this is such a cool car. I fit behind myself based on my driving position. My knees are clear, there is a space, and the seat has a pretty deep opening there, so if there are three, I will still fit without touching the seat. I find the seats comfortable. There is an armrest with two cup holders, and there are air vents, and the seats can be folded 40-60. The trunk, I find on the high level, this unit though has a spare tire. I guess if you don't go for that, you will gain a little bit of space here. It seems high and it's a little bit short. I don't think this is the biggest one in the class, but if you fold the seat, you will have plenty of space. And again, utilitarian, off-road, adventure, your backpacks and your stuff will fit there. And I think that's better than the extra space. Super cool car.
So, how is to drive the 2025 Ford Bronco Sport? This is a very interesting and unique experience, I would say. So let's start with the basics. The cabin is fairly quiet and insulated. I am surprised by that. I wasn't not expecting this because this is more like a utilitarian vehicle, I would say, but Ford put the effort and the money to make it quiet. I do have a theory. I think it's to hide the sound from this 1.5 three-cylinder engine, but it makes it, it feels a little bit more refined because of the quietness of the cabin. There is strong noise, but the rest is pretty good. And remember, we are in all-terrain tires too, so that create more noise, but I find it pretty good in general. If you're in the city, in a slow speed or in traffic, nothing from the outside will affect the cabin, and I do like that. And I like it noisy because this is an off-roading 4x4 adventure vehicle, and this one has a Sasquatch package that adds more of the off-road elements and capabilities to the vehicle. So I like it. I think it fits well, and it's only on high speed. Other than that, I find a good amount of insulation here in the cabin. Visibility is amazing here. This is a pretty boxy vehicle, right? So, and it's also tall, so the windshield is huge and it feels airy and spacious here because of it. This is not a super big car, so that is cool. The windows are also pretty tall. The side mirrors, I love the sides of them and the design because it covers a lot of view from them, and you have blind spot monitoring there, so that is pretty cool. There is a big window between the C and the D pillar. The D pillar is honestly not super bad, so that is cool. The only small window here is a back window. I don't know why, but it is. So you can still see, and it's pretty okay, but this I noticed right away when I got in the car. So visibility is great. It's really easy to park and really easy to live with this car in terms of visibility. The suspension is another surprise, or well, maybe not. So let's start with, it has all the mechanicals to make it more 4x4 capable. So that is good. It is firm, this suspension. I like it like that. I prefer cars like that, but it doesn't make it uncomfortable. What it does make it is the feeling of solid. This car feels solid and well built and robust and capable. I really like that in this little package. It's not little, but it's a compact SUV, so it has this off-roady old school 4x4 vehicle, and I really like that. It is very composed. It absorbs the bumps pretty much. There is very little transfer from the road to the cabin, so it doesn't get upset, and there is nothing moving inside the cabin either, so it makes it again feel solid and well built. It's pretty cool. The other thing that may or may not be related to the suspension, but you feel driving this car that you want to go over all the bumps and you want to go over sidewalks and all that. It feels that capable and that ready to do whatever you want, and I do find that really cool. It's intention from this car, and I think Ford has achieved that 100%. It's a cool experience. Then we have, well, the seats are comfortable. They are also on the firm side. I do like firmer than softer seats, so to me it's okay, but if you're in the market, you need to check it out because seats are important for long trips and living in a day-to-day basis with a car. But I like them. Then we have the brakes. The brakes are okay. I mean, they have the power to stop the car. I feel confident driving around and making sure that the car will stop when I ask. They are progressive. I like that. The bite is a little bit strange, not only in the pressure of the pedal, but the way that the car does the braking
I don't know, maybe because we are in all these terrain tires and these special wheels or something, they feel different to me. Not a bad thing, just different. These are special brakes. Considering that this is not a hybrid or anything, I don't know, there is something there. But it's okay. I think anybody can get used to it. Maybe I'm being really picky on this, so sorry for this. I like the Bronco Sport. So then we have the transmission. The transmission is an 8-speed automatic transmission. It has been doing a pretty good job in downshift. It's not the fastest, but also not the slowest. I have no issues with this transmission so far. In fact, I think it's doing a pretty big effort to take everything that the transmission can out of this power. And then we have that, the engine. I am really interested to hear from you guys if any of you owns a Ford Escape with this engine or a Bronco Sport. This is a 1.5 3-cylinder EcoBoost turbo engine and produces good power, 190 horsepower and I think 200 or 201 pound-feet of torque, which is pretty good. So it feels peppy. I think this is ideal, especially in the city. Move the car with no issue. It feels that the power is there. It's quick to move and accelerate from a stop. So a slow speed performs beautifully. What I was saying before about the insulation on the cabin, the sound of this engine it is different. I would say. I don't want to be too bad about it. It sounds like a 3-cylinder that is doing a massive job moving this car, and that's okay because it does move the car. And I have heard other engines that are, putting a lot of effort to move their cars, so that's okay. To me, it's like this. It has the power, it has the torque. In the highway, when you are passing, there is a point that you feel that the engine is running out of steam, but still move the car. I didn't have any issues with the car. I think my only issue is the sound, because when I hear the engine, which is not that often between the music and everything else, you feel like the engine is about to die. And that's, again, this is just me, please. Maybe I've been focusing so much on that because everything else on the car is super cool. I don't know. I would love to drive the 2-liter. I think without driving it yet, that's a perfect fit for this package of Ford. But hey, they are giving us two options that impacts price, probably fuel efficiency, and again, I want to hear from you. If you have, what is your experience? If you have one, what do you think? If I'm right or wrong? If you think that, you have the same feeling about the engine, it's okay. I think it's okay. The important part is, in most of your situations, you will not feel anything about the engine or wrong with the engine. And in fact, if you don't know about the engines and you just buy the car, you probably will never know what is the difference, if it's a 3-cylinder, 4-cylinder, or if it's a 1.5 or whatever it is. So it is a capable engine. I have to say that, and it is true, and it's adequate for this car 100%, and I love it in the city for sure. And that amount of torque probably will help you when you really decide to take this off-roading. So it's cool. I think it's a formula that is completely valid, and I think the last word will, the people that owns an Escape or a Bronco with this engine are the ones who can have their last word about what this is about truly, because I only have this car for 1 week. So overall, I think this is a pretty cool car and experience. I think the hood is really, again, this is a square car, it's up and it feels long, so you feel like you are driving a much bigger car, and you feel off-roading and you feel the adventure, and the look of the car is so cool. It's so well designed in the exterior, to my taste at least. The whole experience is really, really cool. This with the Sasquatch package and the wheels and the tires and the ground clearance, the whole thing is cool. I think that's the perfect word for this car. This is a cool car. I do like it.
So let me know what you think about the 2025 Ford Bronco Sport, either with this engine or the bigger engine, with the Sasquatch package or without. I find it super cool.